You've joined us on Intruders TV Music, the illustrious Last FM officers, and we've caught up with DJ Haus and DJ Stingray to discuss their latest collaboration project, Unknown to the Unknown. So why don't we start by you explaining the project in your own words?
Okay, well, Unknown to the Unknown's project I set up, and I really wanted to get a Stingray to do a remix. I booked Stingray to play a show, I don't know, a year ago or whatever, and it unfortunately couldn't make it. But so it was really nice that we kind of got to do something together. And I guess you were into the track, and yeah, so did that, and then I pushed it a little bit further, and I was like, oh, let's do a track together. Just keep pushing, and yeah. I'd sent over some bits, and some really great bits, and I kind of mixed them and then re-edited them, sent them back, and went back and forth a little bit. From a production point of view, the way you're like mixing records, I really like the idea of like using that in production. So like when you're listening to a tune and it sounds like you got edits and cuts, so it sounds like a DJ's doing something. And I actually picked that up from seeing you DJ then. So I was really chuffed to get you involved in the project, because it's kind of like a little, you know, like all the little cuts and edits, because that's what you're all doing, you know, and with the, with the little loops and all that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to get that feeling in the tunes as well, you know.
You gotta get them close. Throw their brains all over your nice suit.
Stingray, your stuff is very much kind of techno, electro, kind of a completely contrasting style. And what was it about the project that kind of attracted you to it?
Really, it was his sound base. When I listened to his sounds and the original track, I was really impressed and I was inspired. And as soon as I got the pieces, it was like, I just went to work right away. You know, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And as he described, we just kind of went back and forth and getting feedback and input, and it just flowed. And I really completed it relatively quickly, you know, so it was really just his style, and his sound base was really exciting to me, and it stimulated me to just go to work, go in the studio and do some work.
Yeah, it sounds like as soon as you heard it, you kind of had a very clear vision of exactly what you wanted it to sound like.
Absolutely.
Which is great.
Absolutely.
Do you work on a lot of kind of collaboration projects yourself, or do you generally stick to your solo stuff?
I try to work on a lot of collaboration stuff. I have plenty of examples of my own individual work, but for the most part, I try to balance the two. You know, I've done some collaborations with Heinrich Muller. I've got some future things coming out with Andy Hall, Mariska. Though you may not be familiar with those artists. And then, of course, UT, you know, Unknown to the Unknown, which I'm extremely proud of, and I'm really proud to be affiliated, and I'm not just talking.
The great thing about like the remix as well is that everyone, when you sent over, I played it for your mates, and they're just like, yeah, straight up Detroit banger. Do you know what I mean? It's really kind of like, I like chats like that. They've got the feeling that, you know, it was probably only done in a few hours, but the idea's there and it's just banged out, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to spend a few days on it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Right. And what's the scope of the project? Is it kind of just an experiment, or are you hoping to push this further than that?
Basically, it's going to be, well, we've got the first single out now, and then the second single's coming out, and hopefully the third one, which will be our track that we've done together. We've got a lone remix for it as well.
Excellent.
So yeah, I mean, it should be a nice, going to be dropping on vinyl only, so yeah, and that's going to be dropping soon on Unknown to the Unknown Records.